Good morning, student. Welcome back to our physics class. Last day, we complete our pre-half-yearly unit test portion. Revision also of the chapter 2 matter. So today we start chapter 3, physical quantities and measurement. What are the physical quantities and measurement? We learn this chapter. Chapter 3. Measurement is a part of almost every aspect of our daily life. For example, if we are going to a new place, we will need to know the distance and the time it will take to reach there so that we can plan our journey accordingly. So, measurement is necessary for our daily life. Why it is necessary? If we will want to purchase some potatoes from the market, so we need the measurement 1 kg potato or half kg potato. If we want to need, then we have to know the measurement of half kg or 1 kg potatoes, how much quantity it is. If we don't have that idea, then we cannot purchase it properly. So like that way, if we will go any new place, we have to know the distance from the old place to the new place and how much time it takes. Then we can calculate and we can plan our journey. When buying vegetables and groceries, we will want to know their weight to pay the correct amount of money. Thus, we need to measure the quantities of most of the things around us to be able to take correct decision regarding their utility. Imagine what would happen if there was no way to measure things. We would then have to describe the size or weight of the things just by seeing or holding them, but cannot always rely on our sense. For example, look at the 3 lines given in the figure 3.1. In your book, you see that one figure 3.1, 3 lines are there and the arrow signs are there. 2 arrows are in the opposite direction. 2 arrows are in the same direction and 2 arrows are in different way. So we see that once 3 lines, first one is smaller, second one is little bit bigger, third one is biggest. But it is not correct. Our sense say that once, but if we measure that one, the first, second, third all are the same in length if we measure by a scale. So our sense is not, due to the arrow mark, it looks like bigger or smaller, but it is not really true. It is not what line it is given, we cannot imagine it. Our sense is not correct. So to find out the existence of an unknown quantity, we need to compare it with a known fixed quantity of the same kind. Determining the exact value of an unknown quantity by comparing it with a known fixed quantity of the same kind is known as measurement. So what is the measurement? The determining the exact value of an unknown quantity by comparing it with a known fixed quantity of the same kind is known as its measurement. If there is a pencil in your hand, you mark it, otherwise you collect one pencil. When you read this, when you do this class, you mark with pencil in your book. This is the important line. Whatever you learn it. So what is the measurement? Again I am telling, the determining the exact value of an unknown quantity by comparing it with a known fixed quantity of the same kind is known as measurement. The branch of science that deals with measurement is known as metrology. Mark it. We have to learn this line also. The branch of science with deals with the measurement is called, known as, or is called metrology. Physical quantities. What are the physical quantities? Any quantity that can be measured is called a physical quantity. Which can we measure? Mark it. Which can be measured from where to where? Any quantity that can be measured is called a physical quantity up to here. So what is a physical quantity? Any quantity that can be measured is called a physical quantity. The volume of milk in a bottle, the distance between our school and home, and the weight of our body are a few examples of physical quantity. These are the physical quantities. The distance from our school to home, the weight of our body, the milk contained in a bottle. These are the physical quantities. Temperature, area and mass are some other example of physical quantities. There are two types of physical quantities, namely fundamental physical quantities and derived physical quantities. There are two types of physical quantities, fundamental physical quantity and derived physical quantity. Now we have to learn the fundamental physical quantities. What are the fundamental physical quantities? Basic physical quantities, mark it, basic physical quantities that do not depend upon other quantities are called fundamental physical quantities. Basic physical quantities that do not depend upon other quantities and are called, are called fundamental physical quantities. So the physical quantities which do not depend upon other quantities is known as fundamental physical quantities, or the basic physical quantities that do not depend upon other quantities are called fundamental physical quantities. There are 7 fundamental physical quantities. We have to mark it: length, mass, temperature, time, electric current, luminous intensity and amount of substance. These are the 7 fundamental physical quantities. Now what are the derived physical quantities? The physical quantities that are derived from one or more fundamental physical quantities are called derived physical quantities. Area, volume, speed, density are some of the derived physical quantities. These are the derived physical quantities. The measurement of a physical quantity consists of 2 parts: the magnitude and the unit. So, when we measure a physical quantity, there are 2 parts. One is the magnitude, another is the unit. Measuring of a physical quantity. Now, how can we measure a physical quantity? To measure a physical quantity, we need to compare it with a known fixed physical quantities of the same kind. To measure the physical quantity, we need to compare it with a known fixed physical quantity of the same kind. A unit is a known fixed physical quantity used for comparison in the measurement of physical quantities of the same kind. The measured value is always written as a combination of numeral along with its units. The numeral represents the magnitude of the measured value. Suppose we are asked to find out the length of our pencil box by using a centimeter scale. after measuring the length of the pencil box is found to be 20 centimeters. So 20 is the magnitude and centimeter is the unit here. So the number 20 is the magnitude and cm or centimeter is the unit. This means that the length of the pencil box is 20 times the known fixed unit of length, that is centimeter. So in this way we represent the physical quantity. When we represent the physical some physical quantity, we have to use two things: magnitude and the unit. What are the magnitude? When we measure the pencil box, we see it is 20 centimeters, same as 20 centimeters. So 20 is the magnitude here and centimeter is the unit, we know that one. So when we measure a physical quantity, always we need two things: magnitude and the unit. These are the measuring of a physical quantity. Next is what? Traditional unit. Before getting this metric system or this centimeter, feet, we are using some traditional units. What are that? Initially people choose their body parts and their natural surroundings as instruments for measurement. In ancient Babylon and Egypt, the earliest tools to measure length were the cubit and the handspan, the palm and the fingers. The cubit was the length of an adult person's forearm from the elbow to the tip of the middle finger. We know this is the middle finger, this is the middle finger. So from the elbow to the middle finger, tip of the middle finger, this length, the adult person's distance from the elbow to the middle finger is the cubit. But this is differ from person to persons. Some adult persons arm length is less than the other or more than the other. So this handspan was length of from the tip of the thumb to the tip of the little finger of an outstretched hand. A palm was, so they are using that ones. At that time we are not getting that SI units. So the cubit was the length of an adult person's forearm from the elbow to the tip of the middle finger. A handspan was the length from the tip of the thumb to the tip of the little finger, to the tip of the thumb to the tip of the little finger. This is the handspan. Sorry, this is the cubit was the length of the adult person's forearm from the elbow to the tip of the middle finger. The handspan, yes, the handspan was the length of from the tip of the thumb to the tip of the little finger of an outstretched hand. When we outstretch hand from the tip of the thumb to the tip of the little finger, this is the handspan. A palm was the width of the hand. The palm is the width of the hand. A finger or digit was the width of the middle finger. Width of the middle finger. The Greek developed the foot as their fundamental unit of length. A foot was the length of an adult person's bare foot. They measured time with the movement of the sun, the moon and the other heavenly bodies. They measure the time. So these are the ancient times. During the medieval period, we one of the most popular system of measurement was the British traditional system known as foot pound second (FPS) system. In this system, foot was the unit of length, pound was the unit of mass, and second is the unit of time. Each foot considered of 12 inches, each inch being the length of the 3 barleycorns placed end to end. These are the FPS system. Need to standardized units, but these are the traditional units, so we need a standardized units. The traditional units were not uniform as the length of a cubit, foot and hand span varied from person to person. Already I told it. According to their body size. So these units could not be used for scientific measurements where accuracy was a prime concern. Therefore, people felt the need to have standard units which could be used for accurate measurement and could be accepted universally. So up to this today we did. So today what we learned? Today we learned that one, why it is need the measurement. In our practical life, it is very necessary to know the measurement. What is the measurement? What is physical quantities? There are two types of physical quantities, fundamental physical quantities and derived physical quantities. More than that, what is there? There are 7 fundamental physical quantities. What is the fundamental physical quantities? The basic physical quantities which do not depend upon other physical quantities is known as fundamental physical quantities. Derived physical quantities, with the help of the fundamental physical quantities, which quantities we express, that is the derived physical quantities. When we measure something, we need the magnitude and unit both. Some traditional units also given here, we learn that one. And why we need the standardized units? To measure accurately and universally everywhere, we need the standard unit. Okay, up to this today we learn.